You guys know exactly how I feel about billionaires. You know what I think. I really think that they built their companies on the back of us all. There's not much that's going to change that belief. And I want you guys to listen to this in the right mode and listen to this keenly. Recently, Elon Musk went on, I guess it was on the internet or somewhere, and made silly statements about Build Back Better and it shouldn't be done. It's best if it doesn't pass and what it's going to do to the economy, knowing absolutely nothing about economics. He may know how to build a car. He may know how to get other people to build cars for him. He may know how to get other engineers to fly people into space for him, but he knows not anything about economy or social programs, etc. So with that in motion, or that said, let's go ahead and listen to what Brother Farid Zakaria had to say on this particular issue, because I think it is so important that we don't let these charlatanes to take advantage of the reality of what's going on.
In America, we tend to listen with rapt attention to the wisdom of people who have succeeded in the private sector. If they've made billions, we think, surely they must have profound insights into the world. And when the person speaking is obviously brilliant, this adds to our veneration. So when somebody as staggeringly rich and staggeringly intelligent as Elon Musk talks, people listen. Alas, what came out of Musk's mouth this week was a series of self-serving and ill-informed comments about President Biden's spending plans. Musk advised that it would be better if the bill doesn't pass, because our spending is so far in excess of revenue, it's insane. Seemingly selfless, he explained that he didn't want any subsidies himself or his flagship company, Tesla, neither for charging stations nor for cars.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies.
Some of this might be sour grapes. Tesla actually outgrew the federal government's tax credit on electric vehicles a long time ago. The federal government provides a $7,500 tax credit for electric vehicles, but they expire once the manufacturer has sold 200,000 of them, a mark Tesla crossed in 2018. In addition, the Biden bill adds $4,500 more in credits per car if the manufacturer uses unionized labor, and Tesla does not. As for charging stations, one of Tesla's key advantages is that it already owns and operates thousands of them. Federal subsidies in the infrastructure bill that recently passed would simply erode that advantage by building new ones for all electric cars. It is bizarre and ironic that Elon Musk should be the tech billionaire who so opposes government spending. Three of Musk's endeavors, Tesla, SpaceX, and Solar City, would probably not even exist if not for federal support. Tesla owners have for many years received generous tax credits and incentives from the federal and many state governments. And in 2010, after a global recession, when Tesla was a fraction of the size it is now, the company got a $465 million loan from the Department of Energy, which gave it a desperately needed shot in the arm. The state of Nevada gave Tesla a $1.25 billion tax incentive package to build its battery factory there. Solar City has benefited from all kinds of subsidies and tax credits that incentivize the production and installation of solar panels.
And liftoff.
And SpaceX's largest customers, of course, are federal government agencies, from NASA to the Department of Defense. Musk defends himself by saying he's in favor of getting rid of all subsidies because he wants those for oil and gas eliminated as well. Oil and gas subsidies should be pared back, but they really aren't as many as people seem to think. A 2018 study by the Energy Information Administration found that in fiscal year 2016, the renewable energy industry received almost half of all federal energy subsidies, while generating just only 1/8 of the energy produced in the United States. This is as it should be. Green energy is the future, after all. Musk's comments on the budget were also disappointing. They seem to parrot conventional wisdom about budget deficits that has not been vindicated by evidence. Over the past 30 years, governments like America and Japan have been able to run massive deficits, and yet interest rates have overall trended way down. Even today, rates remain low despite the surge in inflation. Does the market understand something that we don't? Infrastructure spending is essential, and there is really no serious argument against it when the cost of borrowing for the federal government is essentially zero. Musk admitted that America needs better airports and roads and better mechanisms to ease traffic in cities, but he seems unwilling to allow for the investments that would actually tackle these problems. The federal government's investment in green energy is very similar to what it did in the 1950s with computer chips, paying much more for a new technology so that the price could later come down for everyone. It resembles the investments government made in the 1960s to develop ARPANET, the first rough version of the internet, and later the global positioning system. These policies, incidentally, created the digital infrastructure which made possible companies like PayPal, the original source of Elon Musk's billions.
So as you can see, the grifter, Elon Musk. Look, everybody talk about intelligence. I know a lot of intelligent people that are broke. Elon Musk did it right. He knows how to make money. So we give him that. But as far as how he made his money, it was made on the backs of the taxpayers initially, starting from PayPal, which gave him much of his wealth. So let's be clear here, which he was able to leverage for Solar City, Tesla, and Sky, whatever his other thing is. So let's be clear here. The guy is a taker. And even as he built spaceships and all of that, the technology was developed by NASA. You know, they went ahead and they did a suborbital flight, and everybody went crazy about it. I'll be honest, folks. I worked for NASA. Some of my software is on the space station. Let me say something. You can look it up, by the way. You don't have to take my word for it. Here's the interesting thing about it. The technology is developed by a whole lot of people, not any one person. A whole lot of people. But what capitalism does is it allows a few to take advantage of the mind, the intellect, the work, the labor of everybody else. And that is what Musk has done. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.